respected head of departments, the faculty, participants, and all the tech enthusiasts present here. Bytecamp is a themed hackathon. Like every year, the theme for this year is crisis. A crisis is any occurrence or period that leads to an unstable and hazardous condition impacting a person, group, or society as a whole. Crisis can be categorized in different domains: natural, social, technical, and industrial. People can be prepared to deal with crisis by having a solution available. Crisis management is the use of tactics to assist individuals or organization in dealing with a sudden and sustainable unfavorable occurrence. So we are looking forward to your solution for crises like this. I would like to introduce our mentors Venkatesh Arnachalam, Shantanu Ghar, and Sayali Patel. I would also like to sincerely thank them for their contributions in the mentoring session and for guiding our participants in the right way. And we are really glad to have you guys on board. Now, I would like to introduce our today's judges, Dr. Amit Agarwal and Mr. Srinivasan Konar. Amit sir is a technology director with Kyoto Software Solutions. He is based in Mumbai. He holds a PhD from Nanyang Tech University, Singapore, and an MS in Financial Mathematics from London School of Economics. He has worked with banks for 12 years in Singapore and London as an economist, portfolio analyst, and machine learning specialist prior to returning in 2017. KSS builds IT solutions for SMEs and farmers. Key technology areas of KSS are web development, artificial intelligence, and machine learning, image processing, and blockchain. We welcome you, sir. Srinivasan sir is a technology manager with Cape Gemini IT Services and Solutions. He is based in Mumbai. He is a chemistry graduate with Mumbai University and completed his MBA in IT from Wellinger Institute. He has a total working experience in the IT industry for 14 years and has worked with major banks in the BFSI domain, supporting various clients in their IT deliveries. His areas of expertise are in big data, Hadoop, and cloud computing. We welcome you, sir. Now, before moving on to the PPT presentation, I would like to explain you guys to the rules. Participants will be given 7 minutes to give their presentation and show their prototype demo, if any. Once they exceed the time limit, they will be reminded in the chat box and will have to stop. Exceeding the time limit will affect the scores. We wish you guys a very best of luck. Now, moving on to the official PPT presentation, I would like to call upon our first team, Team Racers.
Thank you. Could I get the presentation rights?
Yep. Can you please raise your hand?
Yeah, just a minute. I'll just raise my hand. Thank you.
I would request that all the team members, while presenting, please turn on their cameras.
Is my screen visible?
Yes, it's visible.
Good afternoon to one all present here. I'm Sanjana and my teammates are Varun and Sri Krishna, and we are from Team Racers. So coming to the problem statement, we all know and we've seen people getting toxic messages like rape threats or death threats while they are talking to other people in the internet, and often in the private chat medium, these kind of profanity, it slips out and it is unnoticed. So this gives an advantage to the abusers who try to attack people and especially children verbally in the internet. So, a study based on cyberbullying showed that 37% of young people between the age of 12 to 7 have been bullied online, and for more than 30% of them, it has happened more than once. And only 1 out of 10 of of those teen victims inform their parent. So this is a very serious issue, and what the current systems are doing is they just block the person, like they give you an option to block the person who is trying to send these kinds of messages, but they don't do anything more than that. So our aim is to create internet a safe place, because we all know that internet is the future and we have to converse in the internet for the next, I don't know how many years. So we want to make internet a safe place so that no one has to worry about being cyberbullied again. So coming to the proposed system, uh, we aim to build a filtering algorithm which can run locally on the mobile application. It will also be available as an API, and we'll try to understand the context and analyze whether the text is toxic or not. And we'll block the user right then and there when he's trying to send toxic messages. And we won't allow that person or the user to send any toxic message. That can be a death threat, can be a rape threat, it can be any body shaming terms. All of that will be stopped right at that point. Coming to the system design, how we have designed the system. So first, the user tries to send some message in our application, and the application will check whether the safe mode is on or it is off. So what is a safe mode? So safe mode is basically, we've created this as a filter, like it'll check whether the message is toxic or not. For that we have created a safe mode, and we have given an option to switch it on or switch it off to the adults who are of the age 16 plus, because you have an option to talk with your friends and you have strangers. So for strangers you can keep the safe mode on, but for friends you can keep it off. And for children below the age of 16, it is compulsory to keep the safe mode on. We haven't given them an option to switch it off. So if the safe mode is off, then we'll directly encrypt the message and we'll send it to the receiver. But if the safe mode is on, we'll pre-process the text, we'll run the model, and if the output is greater than 0.5, it means that the message is toxic. Then we alert the user that you cannot send this message. And if the output is less than 0.5, then again we'll encrypt the message because it means that it is not toxic. Coming to the features of our application, our model runs locally in the mobile device, and our chat application is end-to-end encrypted. So we have done that using the elliptic curve P256, and the encryption is done using AES. And each user is authenticated by logging in the chat application using Firebase. We have an option to turn on the safe mode in specific conversations. Like I said, you can talk to friends or strangers. So for that, we have given an option to switch it on and off according to your choice. And like any other chat application, of course, you can block or unblock any conversation. And before chatting with the peer, the user has to request a conversation. So in WhatsApp, now what is happening is, if you try to send a message, if you have the user's number, you can directly send a message to them. But what we're doing is, the user has to send a request, and only if it is accepted on both sides, only then the conversation will get started. So now my teammate Sri Krishna will tell you more about the text preprocessing.
All right. So to process any text, we have to convert it to numbers so that our machine learning model or a basic computer understands this text. So to do that, what we are doing is, initially, whenever we get raw text, we convert that into lower text. We remove all sorts of emojis, symbols, and numbers. Then we also remove these stop words like and, this. These words are not really important in finding out if a sentence is offensive or not. The most important part, if you can see, is that there's a condition. Is this text being used in the mobile application or is it being used in the API? If it is being used in the mobile application, we have to embed the words in the pre-processing itself. Varun, if you go to the next slide, I can explain why we have to do this better. So initially, what we were trying is we made a simple NLP LSTM model, and we tried to convert that to a TF Lite version, which is basically a format that can be used in mobile devices. But for that, in each and every LSTM model, you require a embedding layer, which cannot be converted to TF Lite as of now. So what we had to do was we had to make two models. One was a subset of the other, and the left out part was the embedding. So what we're currently doing is we're just taking out the outputs of the embedding layer into a JSON and passing that to the Android device. Varun, can you go to the next slide? These are the results of our model. As you can see, the loss and the accuracy, they are the loss keeps on decreasing with each and every epoch, and the accuracy keeps on increasing. We had about 4 lakh data, 4 lakh rows in our data set, and finally our models reached the train accuracy of 97% and test accuracy of 95%. Finally, these are the outputs that you can see. So on the left image, you can see the predictions of our image. So initially we have simple sentences. I love you. I really like you. Hello. All of these are obviously non-offensive. Then we have the threat messages. I will kill you. I'll rape you. You're an ugly hoe. Fuck you, bitch. All of these are considered offensive. I'd like to turn your. Yeah. So if we look at the last three sentences, you can see that our model is able to capture context as well. Instead of just using a simple bag of words model, whenever we are using the word worst, it also looks at the context. So if I say you are the worst person, it says yes, this is offensive. But if I say I'm having the worst day, it's considered as not offensive. And on the right image, you can see this being implemented in our chat application. In the text part, in the text section, the user has written, I'll kill you, and he's trying to send the message. And this is the warning that the user gets. Varun, can you move to the next slide? Yeah, I'd like to ask Varun to continue with the demo.
Yeah, so I'll continue with the demo. Yeah, so in order to clearly view how this chat application is working, I have prepared this application is working on two separate devices. So I've prepared a video in such a way that it can be really seen how this application interacts with other application. So as you can see, as it's quite customary, every application should have a basic sign up. So we are using Firebase for it, and you can see the sign up procedure over here. One has to enter the user ID and the age, and then one can use their available Gmail accounts in order to sign up to our application. We'll look at this. So here you can see a loading page. Here is where, as earlier Sri Krishna mentioned, that all the necessary information that is required for embedding, which is to be done in the pre-processing stage when we are concerned with the mobile application. Here is where all the necessary resources are loaded, and once all these resources are loaded, this application is established, and now we can start with the conversation. Now, as you can see, the left-hand side is sending a request to Varun Sridhar, and the request is being accepted. Now a conversation gets established. Now you can see there is a normal conversation going ahead, like any other chat application. Now we'll see how a normal conversation can really get problematic, and how our application will really help in order to protect such kind of instance. So we look into that. Now the left-hand side user is trying to input a dangerous sentence, and here the warning is posed. So this neural net, which is detecting whether the input text is toxic or not, it is harbored within our mobile application. So we are not calling any external API or so. The neural net resides within the mobile, and it is able to detect. So if you see, there is no latency problem due to that. The the seamlessness and the instantaneous feature of a chat application that is actually expected is still working on. So you can see when body shaming, like you are a fatty, is also being blocked, and even you are the worst person, which is highly derogatory, even that is being blocked. But if I have the sentence called as I had the worst day, it won't be, because it's not a toxic sentence. So it is able to understand that the word worst is being used in which context. Okay, so now we'll look at this concept of safe mode. As you can see, there is a button in the top right corner. It switches from green to red when you deactivate the safe mode. In the right hand side, it has switched to red on the press. So now the left hand side user will be able to send such messages. So it is basically, if a user decides to put off the wall that is protecting that person, that user has a choice of that. So which makes our application flexible as well. So when you're talking with friends and you want to have all sort of casual conversation, that's okay. Now this one got blocked because the safe mode was again reinitiated and that. So yeah, about just a second, I'll just rewind by 10 seconds. Now there is a concept of report. Now how report is important is because we want our model to improve continuously, right? So if at all our model makes a wrong prediction, for example, and I want to report it, to saying that, hey, this was a toxic sentence, so the model didn't allow it, so that we provide provision for that. So all you have to do is long press on that message, and you'll be allowed to report that message. I'll just come to that. Let's say I'm reporting hey as toxic, just for the sake of the argument. And if I do this, this message gets reported. Now this reporting scheme, there is an app script that is connected. This is the app script that is connected to a Google Sheet. This app script is connected to a Google Sheet. And as you can see, this hey is reported with an index 1, which means that it is supposed to be classified as toxic. So just for the sake of an example, I reported hey as toxic. Now, if I look at the further sentence, there is another way to report. We'll look into that as well. For example, they say I will rape you is a toxic sentence, but let's say for the sake of the argument, it is not. I can report it here as well, and as I showed you, it gets reported as not toxic. So that is how we are also handling reporting of messages, so that we get more data and we are able to improvise our data set with time. Now, as any application permits, you can block conversations. So as left-hand side has blocked the right-hand side, so the right-hand side will not be able to send any messages. Similarly, even you can unblock the conversation, and again, the communication is re-established. And one more thing, just a second, as I would like to have your attention over here, we are also tracking the life cycle of the application, as both the application state as online. The moment I put the right-hand side into cache, here it becomes last seen at 10:50 a.m. And when I pull it back, it becomes online. So we are harboring all sort of features that a certain chat application should provide, as well as we are also looking into the fact that there are no toxicity. There is no toxic content flowing through the application by having a well-built neural network. So you can update your profile pictures. All the data is immediately shared and updated. Also, you can look at the profile of your peers. So all these features are also available. So that is from our side, from the demo. Thank you for watching it.
Hi. Okay, so I'll just go with a couple of points here. This is a good application that you have. There are some places where you might get funding further. What happens but how is that going to integrate is something that's to be figured out. What happens in companies is people use chat boxes quite often to communicate within firms. This is typically of large firms, all right? And sometimes people put expletives. It's rarely, but it does happen, and relationships get spoiled unnecessarily. Okay, so we all think about things that we actually don't want to speak, but it does come out. So it is in the interest of firms which are deploying these sort of softwares to have something which is going to help the people cool down. All right. So if I see the kind of warning that you have sent across, maybe, if I'm using sense, I'll probably cool it down, right? Okay. So this learning that you have done is on a standardized data set. You may want to consider, okay, in some real life cases, this thing. Secondly, your learning is a 1-0 learning based. That's what I noticed. The 1-0 learning, unfortunately, will not work out. You will have to go for it'll take much more time. So if you want to, we can have a conversation separately, all right, beyond this. But it has to be in a gradient, okay, where either you're using some means of clustering information. Okay, so when I say a particular sentence is toxic or not toxic, and it's given as a feedback, so that goes and fits within a framework where the value of my claim increases over a period of time depending upon how many people are marking that thing to be right or wrong. Okay, and when I say that thing, it has to be based on a similarity index as opposed to exact matches, right? Now, this is going to end up taking a lot of memory. So memory efficiency and data structures that you're going to use to actually efficiently implement it will be very important here also. Okay, so I think I'll stop it here. If there's any question, please do ask. If it's a longer one, then that can be taken up offline.
Right. So, sir, I'd just like to mention that we were also kind of looking into making our algorithm better in terms of just learning which sentence is toxic or offensive. The most challenging part of that is making that available or usable on an Android device or a mobile device. So that is why currently we are looking into this RNN and LSTM kind of approach. But yes, we obviously want to improve the model, and will keep on trying to make it better.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
A very great presentation by Team Racers. I would also like to remind you guys the rules that please don't exceed the time limit of 7 minutes. Doing so will affect your marks. Now I would like to call upon our next team, Team Phoenix. Please turn on your cameras while presenting. Whoever wants the presenter rights, please raise the hands. Hello. Is team this is your last call, Team Phoenix. Team Tatas present here. Team Terminators. Pops.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you are now.
Okay, so I'm from Team Terminators. I'm Samriddhi, and my partner.
So,
Hello.
Yes, you are audible. You can start your presentation.
Okay, I think the voice is lagging a bit. Okay. So, so the problem statement that we chose was the theme that was given to us was crisis, and the problem statement that we chose was on natural crisis. So everyone knows that crop destruction and the disease transmission by insects have a remarkable impact on the human economy and health. Nearly about 20% of the crop production is destroyed by the insects and pests every year. So I would like to, present our the idea from which, or the real life example from which we got the motivation to build such a model. So is my presentation visible?
Your screen is visible, not your PPT.
Yeah, actually, this is a part of the video that we wanted to share. This.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is the video that we've made for the hackathon itself. So.
At a quick glance, James Mwangi's corn crop looks healthy and bound for a great harvest until you look more closely and see this, the fall armyworm. It's come from the Americas, possibly through imported food, and thrives in Africa's weather. It was first spotted in Southern Africa last year. Now the worms are munching through Mwangi's crop and that of many of his neighbors in Western Kenya.
I expect my harvest to make enough money to pay back loans and cater for my family's needs. If I can't pay the loans, I'll be in a lot of trouble.
As clearly demonstrated by the video, crop destruction and disease transmission by insects have a remarkable impact on the human economy and health. Nearly 20% of the annual crop production is destroyed by insects and pests every year. Even after the development of insecticides and pesticides, problem of crop damage still exists due to the unavailability of early detection of the diseases caused by the plant, as a result of which the entire crop harvest is spoiled, that further leads to crop destruction and crisis. Today, we Team Terminators have come up with an innovative solution for this situation of natural crisis. So here we present our project, the Cultivate. So now we'll be starting with the live demonstration of the project. So this is the website that we have made for the Cultivate. This is the home and about us section. By clicking onto this checkout Cultivate button, it will be redirecting you to the Flask application of Cultivate. So the services that we are providing is we will be basically building an ML model we will be building an ML model we will be building a model using machine learning and deep learning that will be providing us with the early detection of the diseases and would tell us whether the crop that is being cultivated is diseased or not. The user just needs to upload the image of the leaf of the plant using a camera, and our model will be able to predict the name of the disease and the respective pesticide or insecticide that should be given to the crop. Our model will be able to also find the most suitable fertilizer that should be given to the crop in order to ensure a healthy harvest. The user just needs to enter the values of the nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium content in the soil, and the respective suggestions would be provided to the farmer by our model. Our model also will be providing the suggestions to the farmer about which crop is the best to grow in a particular area, taking into consideration various parameters like the water content, mineral composition, amount of salinity present in the soil, etc. So this is the how to use the Cultivate. So the user just needs to, as I said earlier, take a picture and it should be clearly visible, and it needs to upload the picture and click on the Analyze button. So this is the team section and the contact us page. So this is the web application. It's taking some time to load. Yeah, it is loaded. So this is the home page, and Let's first try out the crop. So this will be finding the most suitable crop that you can grow in your farm. You just need to enter the values of nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. Let's say we enter 5, and then for phosphorus we enter 5. Potassium also we enter 5, and the pH is, let's say, 6. Rainfall is 20 mm. We select the state to, let's say, Goa, and let's say Ponta. And we predict. So the model has suggested that you should grow moth beans in your farm for getting a healthy harvest. So moving on to the fertilizer, advice on the fertilizer. So again, let's say we enter the values of nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. And the crop I want to grow, let's say orange. And clicking on the predict button, it suggests that the nitrogen value in the soil is low, and it also provides us the suggestions that we need to follow for for acting as a better fertilizer for our crops. And the last is the disease section. So the user needs to upload an image. So let's say I upload first an app. I have already downloaded an image of the apple scab, apple plant infected with the scab disease. So I click on predict. And the model has diagnosed that the disease is apple scab, and the cause also is being displayed, and steps that can be used to prevent the disease or cure the disease is also displayed over here. So another use case, we try to upload an image of a healthy plant. So it has diagnosed that the crop is pepper, but it doesn't have any disease. So this is the live demonstration of the project. Now moving on to the presentation. So we'll be covering in the presentation about our model, the web application, and the summary. This is the problem statement, and I would like to highlight the fact that the economic loss of about 20 billion per year is estimated all over the world, and in traditional methods mainly rely on the specialist experience and manuals, but the majority of them are expensive and time consuming. So therefore we want the people to take our model, take the help of our model, and diagnose the diseases that the plants have. So this will be the approach towards the solution that we followed. The data set that we used was a plant village data set, and another was a fertilizer prediction data set. So why our model? Because it has an accuracy of about 94.4%, single step processing of the output, saving money and crop harvest. It's a time saver approach, and we have used a flexible data set. Some applications over here, and the conclusion, we have used the convolutional neural network CNN based on the recently developed the ResNet CNN model architecture. It was fine-tuned for the trained images and detection of the healthy as well as the unhealthy crop images. Obtained results showed that the model outperforms some recent deep learning techniques by using the most publicly available dataset on Kaggle website, namely the plant village dataset and the fertilizer prediction dataset. The results highlight that we have achieved 94.4% accuracy. That is far beyond the reach of manual testing. These are the graphs of the accuracy versus validation and loss versus validation loss. This is a glimpse of the web application. And these are the steps that we've already discussed, the important links and the team. Thank you.
Hi, thanks for the presentation. Again, a very good one. A few points. Have you already developed this application or it's under development?
No, we have developed the application and it is being deployed as well. And we have, we have.
Where? Are you deploying it commercially or semi-commercially, or are you deploying it in the school?
No, it's right now it's developed on Heroku application.
I see. I've got it. Okay, fine. So, the government of India will be quite interested in this. And again, if you are interested, I'm not sure exactly what the goal here is, but if you want to take it forward, I can suggest to you some people who would be willing to take it forward. All right. Okay. A few points in here. One is, entering phosphorus and nitrogen, etc. The farmers are not, but we are a startup in farming area. That's why I'm telling you this. So they are incapable of putting all of that information in. If you can develop an extractor, so there is PDF files in which that information is available. Okay, they submit the PDF file, and PDF is converted to JPEG and then JPEG, because directly extracting from PDF is not possible unless you're paying Adobe. Okay, so if you manage that, then automatically from that the information will be taken and put in there. Okay, that's one thing. Multilingual is the second thing to consider. Most of them will not know English. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Doesn't matter which part of India you go into. The third thing is, right, if you just tell me out of the blue that I have to produce this because this is the best crop, that'll not quite work. So the technical solution to that is very simple. You have a database in which locally what are the options of crops that are grown. A farmer, even if you show him the moon, he's not going to change unless he has seen somebody in the neighborhood do it. Right? So so what happens is, we make a constrained optimization as opposed to an optimization. So given all of these parameters for soil or whatever the situation is, the weather and all, okay, and this list of what is grown locally, we advise from that as opposed to making the best advice, because that is unconstrained. Okay. Again, we have very short time here. I'm not going to take much more, and so there might be other comments coming in. If you're interested in this further, in the sense that you want to take it commercial, let me know, and then I can point you out to people. It's basically NABARD. Okay, so NABARD is doing these sort of things. It needs people such as you to help them further. Okay, but we can talk about that later. Yeah, NABARD, in case you want to Google it up.
Yeah, sir, sure.
All right, okay, that's all from me.
Yes, sir. Also, sir, I would like to add, we had included the multilingual functionality in our web app also, including the vernacular languages, mostly spoken in parts of India. So, yeah, I would like to highlight that as well.
Okay, how did he do that? I mean, did he use IIT Next library or?
Yeah, we use the Google Translate API and we have fetched the languages.
Oh, you use that API. Okay. Yeah. That Google Translate API, just to let you know, is horrible, except for French. I mean, German, it does an average job, but Hindi, it totally throws it out of the window. Indian Punjabi, it is okay, but yeah, anyways, you're going to be translating short sentences, so just look it up. I'm not sure what framework you're using, but in React, there is a library called IIT Next, where you are responsible for giving the translation. Okay. Yes, you give the translation, which is correct one, and people can understand that much better. I don't think this will be good with Tamil and all. I don't understand Tamil, but I've seen for Turkish, Hungarian, Arabic, it's quite bad, Google Translate. Okay?
Okay, so we'll try to incorporate that as well.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going in that way, then you might as well. Okay? All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
A very great presentation by Team Terminators. Now let's move on to our next team, that is SED division. Please raise your hand for presenter rights, and also turn on your cameras while presenting.
Hello, I am unable to share my screen. Can you please give me rights?
Yes, just a second. The rights have been okay.
Okay, is my screen visible? Yeah, so good afternoon, sir. Our hack name is Password Generator and Manager. So problem statement is passwords are difficult to remember and users have many accounts that require passwords. This cause users to choose memorable, memorable but weak passwords and then reuse them, which creates a major security problem. So we propose a method for users only need remember one master password that access all their other passwords from one device at a time. Actually, the time required to crack password if we are choosing simple only numerical problems. So it is a hack usually by using brute force attack. So if therefore we are develop a Chrome extension that generates random password for us, and this also we use this manage password. So we are actually move to the demo. So this is a Greek for Geeks website. So where we can demonstrate. Here we enter our username like user 123 at the rate. And if we need to enter the password, we move to our website and generate password. It generates our random passwords for us, like generate password. Every time we click, it generates a unique password. Then we can copy section. If we click the section, password section is automatically filled here also in form. Then we can do our further procedure of filling form. If another next time whenever we want to reuse this password or we don't remember the password, we can easily move to the manage password section. Here we can use our master password. And here all our passwords are stored. Like recently we use user123@gmail.com on Geek for Geeks website, and this is the password. Then we can use directly from our website also. So that's it. So,
Okay, very nice app that you have made. A few pointers here. A lot of people, you can sell this actually to people. Most people have problems remembering all of this, especially small stores and all. The problem will be, how will they know that you don't have access to this password? So without establishing that trust, yeah.
Yes, sir.
So we are not talking about computer engineers on the other side. We're talking about somebody who is 10th pass or 12th pass or literally uneducated. Okay, because everybody now has to use passwords or something or the other. Okay, so that's where the money is, right? You approach the mass segment. You don't go to 5 people or 10 people. You go to a billion. So how would you go? Because I can make this app and I can take all the passwords in the process, right? So
Yes,
you might say that you did it honestly, but how would you convince the person who you actually can't speak to? Could you tell me about that?
sir, instead of storing this all password into the database or server, we are storing this password into the Chrome extensions only. So no, their option to see those passwords which are stored by user.
Fair point. So that is a good argument with me. But how would you argue with a person who has no idea about these things?
Yes.
So just give it a thought. All right. I mean, you don't need to have all answers right now. But the idea is good. I can't really think of an industry type application here, but the service. I think a lot of people would be interested in the neighborhoods. Okay, so you can have a monthly plan, 20 rupees a month or something, or 50 rupees a month, and if people catch on to this, there are lakhs of people who need the service. Okay, no other comments from me. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Another great presentation by SCD division. Now, coming up next is Team 3D. Okay.
Hello.
Yes, you are audible.
Yeah. Can I get the presentation right, please?
Just a second.
Sorry, what's the name of your team?
Okay, done. Team Feedy. FEEDIE.
Got it. Okay. Thank you.
Start. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, you are.
Good afternoon, everyone. So basically, our topic is PD. My group members are like, my name is Shweta Pai, and my group members are Vaishnavi Mantri and Sneha Shaji. Basically, our topic is it is a web application platform, which is a bridge between like NGOs and a donor. So basically, what it does is it helps the donor, like a normal person, to basically throw out excessive food, like excessive food left out, which is like he can't use the excessive food left out at his home. He can donate it to the nearby NGOs or the people who are in need. So basically, the problem statement. So our PPT consists of the problem statement, solution, and the demonstration. The problem statement basically consists of food waste management systems in India, which is a critical problem that is faced by many people in India. Many people sleep like hungry in India. Most of the time, that hunger is a major reason, other than any other thing, of the causes. That is a social cause caused by like hunger. So the solution will be given by Vaishnavi.
Yeah. So what Feedy is basically a web platform which will help to resolve the problem of food wastage by being a bridge between the people with excessive food and the people who are in need and who can help. So first we'll have the login page, then we have the donor. So the donor can send a request to the NGO. So it is up to the NGO whether to accept the request of the donor or not. And then after the donor accepts the request, so the NGO accepts the request, the donor will know whether like he can donate the food, and then he can donate the food. Yeah. So demo will be further explained by Shweta.
Basically, our site. This is a common page for the donor. Hello.
Yeah.
Am I audible? Huh. Thank you, Vaishnavi. So basically, this is our site. This is a common page for the NGO and the donor. So basically, we have written the stuffs like donation things and how much food have been donated. The three basic R's. What our motto is about, like reduce, rescue, and redistribute. This is our motto. So basically, getting started with it. This is our login page, which contains section like a donor and NGO. So basically, this is the donor side of the page. We have written like the things that can be done, other things also, like NGOs and all. These are the ratings of the NGOs that were predefined. So how, while making a donation, what we can do is like, I'll show you how the process works. So basically, the insertion is successful. Like what happens is, I have submitted a request that I have to donate a food with my email ID and all. So basically, my request will be sent to the NGO, and the NGO will accept it or reject it. So basically, I'll receive a mail from them. And other things are like these are the rating section, then these are the prior donations done, like people get influenced by the actors or any other film stars who does donations and all. So basically this is that page. So this is the news page, like what the things are going on right now related to waste management or the food donation management campaigns. So basically we have added this. Then coming back, now we'll see the NGO site page. So this is the NGO site page, and these are the things that benefits of the NGOs and etc. So the donor details, like I have filled the form. You can see the details that I have filled right now. This is the things that, so if I click accept, then I'll receive, like the person whose email ID is present, he or she will receive the mail. So right now I have put it the Vaishnavi's mail, so she'll receive an acceptance mail because I have just clicked on.
Yeah, I received Shweta.
Okay, so basically this is the donors main concept of this site. This is the rating section. So basically we have provided the rating section so that a donor or the any person who is donating or getting the these things can get the reviews or anything else that he or she is going to donate there. And other than this, like we have tried to add analytics page.
Shweta, you have missed the right review functionality.
Sorry. This is the right review functionality. So basically, even I can add the this thing, like whatever I want for whomever, and like what review I have to write. Add successfully. So basically, see, I have added it right now. So this is our whole project that we have created.
Excellent. Is it being applied, used? What's the goal here?
No, sir. Actually, we have found many applications like Android applications that are there specifically for food donation, but we haven't found one application like that is specifically web application for food donation. So we have created this one.
Okay.
Basically,
Also, sir,
there is
most
like
of the.
You can go ahead, Sneha.
So most of the application in application we need to donate cash. So here we are making a bridge between the donors who are ready to give the excess food and the receivers like NGOs.
Okay. So in here there are many design challenges. You see, when you actually see on the ground, right? I ran restaurant for 3 years. Okay. People highly unlikely will, they don't mind people coming and taking the stuff, but they have no interest in spending even 20 seconds getting into an app and doing what you're suggesting. But the same idea that you have, there are a lot of people, when their birthday is there or something, instead of blowing the money up on fattening people who are already fat, what they actually do is, or, something as whatever they're doing, they actually give donations. Okay. So your idea is quite valid. If you really want to pursue, that's why I asked you whether you are applying it. If you're applying it, then I can tell you with respect to that only. Okay. So if you are applying it, then the way you're structuring the application, as in the user interaction, that has to change materially. Again, if you might be interested, you can take my contact from the organizers and just get in touch with me. Okay. Alternatively, so the purpose changes here. What you can do is these people who, instead of me feeding myself, whatever I want to feed myself, I will just go and donate it to a child home or old age home or whatever home that is, right? Okay, and there people actually want to interact, as opposed to restaurant managers interacting, 11:30, he's sick of the restaurant smell, and it's late, and they're all kind. So last thing he wants to do is spend another minute on something which is not of his interest. Okay, and in fact, I can tell you plenty of ways in which restaurants are able to extend the life of what's there for a longer period of time. Okay, so there are related applications where they can go, and once you develop a generalized structure, cloth donation is quite common now. Okay. So there are plenty of people who can't afford new clothes all the time. Though fortunately now in India, most people don't have a problem with clothing. I mean, you have not seen that India where people had until about early 2000s, it was a big problem. Okay, but the same ideas can be applied in many different directions. And again, you can make money out of this. To make money out of this, what you will need to do is, no, I don't think people will pay up front, but what they are willing to do is, like if the agency is receiving on a monthly basis, say 5 lakh rupees of donation through that equivalent, then maybe they can pay you 5,000. Okay, a month or something. And if you have 100 such agencies, then you can become richer than I was able to do over a long period of time. All right. Okay. So, but it needs a fair bit of development. I mean, depends upon which direction you're going with this application. I mean, right now, I'm not sure exactly what the goal here is of this Bytecamp, but if it is to develop ideas that lead to actual practical applications, then I think a lot of these ideas are fantastic, but they need to go the distance. Okay. That's all from my side.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you
Thank
for
you,
your
sir.
suggestion, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Amit sir. Srinivasan sir, would you like to comment on this?
Yeah, basically fantastic idea. I think NGOs been good idea, and as Amit sir just now clearly highlighted, like on special occasions, it's always a preference for people to donate. So definitely there would be some thought need to be go through if that needs to be taken ahead. But otherwise, a good presentation and a good product. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Sorry, there was a connectivity issue. Yeah, great presentation from Team PD. Now let's move on to the next team, Team Sandesh.
Yeah.
Can you please raise your hand for presentation rights?
Sagnik, please raise your hand.
Okay, just a second.
Actually, we both need the presentation rights for the demonstration.
Okay, cool. Yes, please turn on their cameras while presenting and you're good to go.
So, this is visible. Is the screen visible?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so let's start.
So good afternoon, I will present here. Myself, Sandesh Salvi, and my team member is Sagnik Chakraborty. So Sagnik, please change the slide. And our topic for this hackathon is Pashu Care application, which is an animal husbandry-based application. Okay, so the problem statement of our application is, like as we all know that nowadays there is a very little information known to new farmers about the types of animals that they should own and how to take care of their precious animals. So also there are like very few online platforms that help the farmers and the owners to trade their animals. And also most of the information is not easily available in regional language. So the Pashu Care application is like all-round solution for all these problems. So Sagnik, please change the slide. Okay. So the objective of our application is to help the farmers and users in deciding what animals they could own and the proper information about the type of animals available and their breeds. So this application would be a blessing for the users, those who have started with their professional farming career. So this application would also provide all the information related to all the animal types and their breeds and like how to take care of the animals and the maintenance tutorials, nearby veterinary centers and the tips or tricks. And like we are also providing a platform of trading where the users can trade their animals and also users can buy the animals available in the trading section. So along with that, like we are also providing the feature of language choices. Like as we all know that most of the farmers are not comfortable with the English, so we are also providing a language choice option for local farmers. So next slide, Sami. Sagnik, change the slide.
I have changed it.
Yes, okay. So the scope and motivation of our application. So to make the animal husbandry more easy by providing all the animal husbandry information in a single application, the animal husbandry is a vast field to explore and thus experimenting with the technologies and bring something new apart from the existing systems. So this motivation was obtained by looking at the present and the creative systems created for an animal husbandry sector right now and the solutions proposed to solve various problems related to animals. So the reduction of the language barrier which farmers faces while operating the similar kind of like applications. So next slide, Sagni.
Okay, so we'll talk about the proposed system. So it would provide all the information related to the breeds and the care section. The application will also keep the user updated with the information videos related to animal husbandry with some tips and tricks for the care and future of finding the nearby veterinary center. The application will also provide a platform to users for doing the trade of the animals that function with the selling and buying. Also for that, we will be providing the feature for language choices in vernacular languages. Also the methodology of the application. The application would use the Firebase to store the authentication and trading information of the users. The application will be using a feature for finding the nearby veterinary centers available in that area on the basis of the current location by using the Google Maps. The application would also contain the databases of information on the breeds and the caring practices. Admin panel concept has been used to keep the tutorials and tips and tricks section updated with the latest information. So the conclusion is that this Pashu Care application successfully solves out all the problems related to the animal husbandry with fruitful results. So let us now start with the Android demonstration. The Sandesh will be showing us that.
Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Yeah, sure. So this is our application. So let me start with it. So basically, this Pashu Care application consists of the 6 modules. So all the 6 modules. So okay, let me explain them. So the first module is types module. So in this types module, we are like providing all the types of animals. Let's suppose let me click on it. So the animals available are cattle, hens, buffalo, and goat. So let's suppose let me click on cattle. So what are the types of cattle which are available, which I can buy? So there's given a small piece of information about each and every types of cattle. So you can click on it and we can, like this module is completely informative based. Let me click on buffalo. So when I click on it, so it would show the small piece of information about that particular animal. So this is all about the types module. Here we have provided all the information of the types. The second module is the animal care module. Okay, so this animal care module consists of some good caring practices of what kind of shelter we do need to have, like poultry farming and for other animals as well. So like for cattle care. So like here we have provided like care and management of dairy animals, selection and dairy cattle, feed management, methods of milking, diseases of cattle reproduction, housing and dairy cattle. So let me click on it. So here we have provided all the information related to it, which users can use. So same we have done for hens care and for goat care and buffalo care as well. So these 2 modules were informative model. Like here from these 2 modules, user can gain the information related to their types and good caring practices. So the third module is finding the nearby veterinary centers. So as when I click on it, so it would take my current location. With respect to my current location, it would show all the nearby veterinary centers available. So let me click on it. It's taking time for loading. Yeah, so yeah, as it has shown all the nearby veterinary centers available with respect to my current location. So this is all about this veterinary center model to show all the nearby veterinary centers with respect to my current location. And the fourth model is tutorial models. From here, like in this model, like we have provided all the tutorial videos with respect to animal husbandry. Like if a user want this information in video format, so he can access this information with this model. So for this two model, actually we have made admin panel, and from that we are updating the data. Like we can update in anytime we want. So this is all about the tutorial. And the fifth model is tips and tricks. So here we can put all the tips and tricks related to animal husbandry. And the sixth model is the trading model. So in this trading model, first, if user don't know any information, so you can click on Let's Go. If I will click on Let's Go, so it will simply redirect it to the type section where we have provided all the information on type. So let's suppose I want to buy any cattle right now. So it would show all the list of cattle which are available to buy. So I click on it, so it would show the information related to that cattle. And if I want to contact the seller or with respect to anything, like I want to call the seller, so I can do it with respect to this functionality. And here I can post animal, like if suppose I want to sell one animal, so I can simply post it in this sale model. So this was all about the model. Actually, we are currently working on the giving the language choices to the farmers as well. So that model is currently under work because it is a time-consuming process to convert all the text into the with respect to local language. So that is all about this.
Good stuff. Couple of points here. One is the UI needs some improvement. Okay, and I am not sure exactly again where the goal is. Where do you want to take it? Okay, how much time you have to invest in this, etc. If you do reach out, then I will point out in more details. Okay, so that's one thing. The second bit is, again, you can try with Department of Animal Husbandry. Okay, and if that might be a little hard, then you can go the NABARD route, NABARD, the same thing that I was speaking with the other team. Okay, and you can get a few lakhs of funding from them. Okay, to make it happen. You can get larger funding, but I'm not sure exactly who the sources will be. But it'll require a pilot demonstration before which you then enter the market. And the similar idea, you see, what has happened is India has somehow done a lot of work with US, Europe, etc. Okay, but the IT end within India itself is broken. 40 crore people in India have practically no access to IT except for Facebook and what you call this, the other thing, YouTube. Okay, and Facebook and YouTube is not IT. So there's a lot of things in which your ideas can get applied. So if you're interested in taking it further, okay, you can latch on to small amounts of funds, develop it, latch on to those small amounts of funds, and then go big. There are plenty of United Nations programs within India where they are funding district level applications. Okay, so you do for 1, 2, 3 district via NABARD, and then you say, we're going to do it Maharashtra wide, or we're going to do it Gujarat wide, right? You do the demonstration, and then you scale all over to India. So this little idea you have, plenty of people have the same ideas, but very few people actually scale it up. You can take it and make it into a 1,000 crore company. Okay. Anyways, it'll take more time than we have right now. So if it's something that you think useful, then you can write back to me separately. Okay.
Yeah, sure, sir.
All right.
Okay, thanks for your advice, sir.
Thank you, Amit sir. Srinivasan sir, what do you think about their app?
Hello?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Yeah. So,
as it starts that.
Right. So basically, I think the presentation was really nice and very good. I think on similar lines, there are other startups who have already created something similar. So, but I would like you to go through their work and study, and maybe try to create some differentiation. That will be really helpful. Other than that, basically on animal husbandry in India, mostly work is still done ad hoc, and everything is offline, wherein the cattle is brought up and auction is held, or somebody there's a seller and there's a buyer directly meeting, talking to each other. So as Amit sir clearly pointed out, you can take a specific area or section or a district, and then target and try to get fundings from you and NABARD. So that will be really helpful. Yeah. Apart from that, good presentation. Thanks, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so great presentation by Team Sandesh. Let's move on to our next team, that is Team Phoenix. Can you please raise your hand?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we both have raised our hands.
Okay, cool. Done.
Is it visible?
Yes, it's visible.
Okay. Good evening, good afternoon, everyone. We are Team Phoenix, and we have made Saksham. So our problem statement is that we want to revive the age-old art forms that have already went extinct because rapid urbanization, and also which are on the verge of extinction. We want to revive them again and spread it out to the population, like modern population like to us. And the next is, the solution we have come up with is to spread more awareness about it and to contact with the people, collaborate with the people who already have knowledge and gain knowledge through their family inheritance and know how to make it. So we will be helping them to reach out to the cities and sell their products, make them and sell their products to us, which will help them in employment, which actually they have lost, and turning over to the turning around to other jobs because they also need means of earning. So yeah, the next is the website flow.
So this is the flow of our website. We have admin dashboard and users. Admin dashboard is useful for database access. It will manage sales and expenses. Also, we have kept a future scope as exhibition. The user will, if a user wants to buy the product, user will buy the product, and if the user wants to join our community to sell the product, they'll fill the form and connect to us through it. So yeah, this is the future scope.
There is also option for donation, and they can also, if people are interested, they can join our community to reach out to the sellers and help them to reach to the world of platform.
So basically the idea is we are going to create a website which will connect to the local NGOs in various districts. Like it will be a pan India kind of thing, and they will connect through various communities, tribal peoples who create artifacts and then they join our community through our community page, and they will be registered to our website for selling their products. So the tech stack we have used is Stack and
Razorpay.
Razorpay payment gateway, and the website demonstration. So the website, it's not fully functional right now. We are working on it, but yeah,
this is our homepage, and
okay. Yeah, this is our registration page. We'll to create an account. Then after creating an account, we'll redirect to login page. And then after logging in, we'll go to Explore. In Explore, a person can view the products and they can So here it is the MRP given, and here through payment gateway, he will do the payment. So yeah, and here please go and Explore. Yeah, explore. Yeah. So here it is given the name. So here we need to add, like we'll here the name is given. If we'll click on that name of the person who has been selling this product, so the complete information about how they have created and their life story, inspiring everyone, everything will be showcased. So it's not more kind of e-commerce, we can say. It's like an community helping tribals to connect, sell their products, and get employment. And urbanized civilization will get urbanized civilization will get like traditional products, and our Indian heritage will be saved through this. So yeah, this is our major motto. Yeah, and then here will be a join us community page. Through this, we'll join like the people who want to join our community, they will join with the via NGOs. So NGO will be the medium between these tribals, because they will be lacking in like technical aspects. So
we want technologically aided opportunities given to them to bridge this communication gap and also the modernization.
So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, great. How much time did you spend in doing this coding, please?
Sir, we started.
How many
4
months?
days. It was like we are college students, so we don't get so much time. So like after 5 p.m. we like 1 hour each day we have given, because our exams are also ongoing. But we want to get this opportunity, and we want to participate in hackathon. So we were trying to do it.
Okay.
So we
And
didn't
what's the
like spend
purpose
too
of
much
doing
time
this
on.
website? I mean, what's your goal? Is it to learn MERN-Stack better, or could you just elaborate what your goal was?
Yeah, both. It is both way. Like
It is happening both ways. We want to learn through implementing in projects, and also reach out to the people who are actually needing this kind of help.
Okay. I see. So this MERN-Stack project that you've this website is going to be quite big. Again, if you are interested in feedback on the code itself, then we need to have a separate conversation. Okay. Generally, what I've seen is people don't structure their codes properly. The result of which is the website fails to grow. And what you're doing is, I can see it'll be a big website. Okay.
Yes.
So that's one comment I have to make. And the second is, since you have a larger goal in here, try to study the structure of Fab India. Okay.
Yes.
So Fab India did the right things, but they are basically now just overcharging capitalists. Okay. So the thing is, I don't see anybody shaking Fab India so far. There might be, but I wouldn't be aware of. But Fab India's model is way past its due date. It should have failed already. But there is no competitor in the market for that. Okay. So if you can study their model, basically they're selling, things which they're buying for 1,000, they're selling for 15,000. They used to be a very different model before. Okay. So do study that model and see what you can learn from it. Okay.
Yes.
There is this requirement, I mean, in quite a few places in India, to get funded directly here could be a challenge, but we can talk about it, if you are interested in taking up the conversation further. Okay. I personally don't know.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Sorry, go on.
Yes, sir. We are actually very interested in taking forward
Taking
this.
it forward. Okay. So I have put my contact information in here. If you reach out, then we can discuss this further. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thanks.
Right. And we do only MERN-Stack plus the other thing that we do is Python for AI work. So I can make some suggestions to you on your code. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, actually, we want to insert a virtual assistant in this, but
right.
we didn't get time actually.
Fine. So if you do reach out, just as I mentioned to other people, I will respond. Okay.
Yes.
Okay,
sir.
thank you so
All right.
much, sir. Thank you so much.
All right. Welcome.
Thank you, Amit sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Srinivasan sir. Go.
Yeah, right. Very good presentation. Excellent idea of connecting locals to the urban world. One point to make here, like we've been talking about, providing the technical dependency on the technical details to be provided by the NGO, which I think would be not really practical, because they would be depending upon you guys to provide them the techniques. So some study on that, helping them doing that will be better. So, but yeah, otherwise overall a good presentation.
Okay, thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Team Sandesh, for your great presentation. Team Phoenix for your great presentation. Now, let's move on to our next team, Team Sigma.
Yes.
Please raise your hands for presenter rights and turn on your cameras. Yes, just a second. Okay, done. You can go.
Good afternoon, everyone. We are Team Sigma, myself, Induja, Purnima, and Vaishnavi. So, our topic is drug target prediction. So, basically, if a natural crisis like coronavirus breaks out, what we need is an effective medicine against the virus. So, if we have a range of different combination of chemical compounds, we need to filter out the most effective chemical combination against the particular virus, which again takes a lot of time since each combination needs to be tested in laboratory. So we came up with an ML model which will do the filtering of the chemical combination against the virus that needs to be sorted out and helps reduce the time and come up with the optimal solution. So the drug target prediction. So what is the drug in the drug target prediction refers to is a chemical compound that has to be used in the medicine. And the target is the protein target present in the human body. So the ML model that we are building will help in predicting how effective a drug is on a target. And this will also reduce the time taken for filtering and coming up with the best solution. Experimenting in a lab in order to calculate IC50 value is very large, will take a lot of time and as well as resource consuming. Hence, this software comes in the frame. What is IC50 value will be explained by Vaishnavi further. Over to you. Yeah, also in drug target interaction, this is a diagrammatrical representation. So we can see we have a target and chemical compound and there is an active site. So basically the drug target interaction refers to the recognition of interaction between chemical compounds and the protein targets in the human body. Next slide.
Okay, so we need to be aware of a few terms before we actually move on to the model so that we can actually understand how the model is working. So the first term which we need to be aware about is IC50. So if we have two chemical combinations, okay, so one, we have to consume 10 mg to produce a certain effect. And for another compound, we have to consume 50 mg to produce the same effect. So it is like quite obvious that the 10 mg chemical compound is quite better than the 50 mg. So this is exactly what IC50 gives us. The next thing which we have to be aware is PIC50. So sometimes IC50 values cannot be like proper. It can be vague kind of. So what we do is like we take the negative log of IC50 and we get the PIC50. And PIC50 is the exact value which our model is going to predict. And once any research person gets this PIC50 value, he or she will be able to filter out the drugs, and then like they can conclude that this is the most effective chemical combination which should be used for a certain virus. Next slide. Okay, so now we will see what is canonical smiles. So canonical smiles is just the basic linear text format in which we can display a chemical compound. For example, CCO, OCC, like C stands for carbon, O for oxygen. So it's basic linear text format in which we display the chemical compounds. Next, we have molecular fingerprints. Suppose when we are normally dealing with models, what we do is we convert things into 0 and 1 binary format, right? So this is exactly what is molecular fingerprints. So they represent the molecules using zeros and ones. So if a certain thing is present, then it is indicated as 1, and if a certain thing is absent, it is indicated as 0, so that we can perform statistical analysis. The third one is Lipinski descriptors. So Lipinski descriptors include 4 parameters. So what this gives us is that it will just tell us that whether this chemical combination or whether this drug is non-toxic. Next slide. So now Purnima will be explaining the flowchart.
Okay, so for building this model, all the methods that we had followed, and the first thing that we did was to fetch the data from Campbell database. Now, Campbell database is one of the sites where there are lots of chemical compounds along with their properties. So we fetched the database from there. Then the dataset that we got from Campbell database, the pre-processing steps we did on it was the first thing we tried to remove the redundant values out of it. Now the second, as Vaishnavi had explained, that IC50 values are quite ununiform. So we converted those IC50 values to PIC50, which is nothing but simply the negative logarithmic of the IC50. And the next thing that we did was evaluating the Lipinski factors. The Lipinski factors, it includes like how many hydrogen bonds are there, what are the absorption levels, then what are the excretion, and all these factors. There are like totally 4 factors, and we tried to analyze. We analyzed the data set basis on those Lipinski factors. And at last, we calculated the molecular descriptor. The dataset that we had got, we converted into in the form of ones and zeros, so that we can calculate the PIC50 value. Now, in the next stage, that is of model building, we calculated the PIC50 values using the machine learning algorithm of random forest algorithm. And the last for like user experience, we deployed that model in on the Streamlight library. So as we will see in further minutes, the demonstration wherein we will be giving input of canonical smiles and Campbell ID, and then we will be predicting the PIC50 values out of it. So which will be further used by pharmacists or researchers who are trying to find the drugs, who are trying to find the how perfect that particular drug is upon any target enzyme. So model building. So yeah, our model is trained and tested using a random forest algorithm, and the accuracy that we got, that is R square value, is around 0.86. Now we'll further go for the demonstration. I hope you can see my website. which is drug interaction app.
It is not visible to me now.
Okay, wait. I will reshare. Okay, so I hope now it is visible.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so now for this, we took the target enzyme as acetyl cholinesterase, which is an particular drug used for, Alzheimer disease. And yeah, so this is the basic information I have given in the website. That is, this app allows you to predict the bioactivity towards inhibiting the this particular enzyme. So it is a drug target for Alzheimer's disease. So as I told you that we are going to calculate PIC50 value. Before we calculate PIC50 values, we must understand what those values signify. Like if the value is between 0 to 5, it means it is giving a good inhibition against the Alzheimer disease. If it is above 5, then it is not a good inhibitor, or it is not a good compound that should be used in any of the drugs. So yeah, so as I have told earlier that this dataset has the canonical smiles and Campbell ID. As explained by Vaishnavi, canonical smiles are nothing but like a serial way of writing a particular chemical compound. So I will be uploading it, and now we will be predicting. So yeah, so this is how our prediction is. First of all, it is showing us what is the original input data that we have given. Then it is, as I told you, that it is calculating molecular descriptors because it is not given in the data set from before only. So because this molecular descriptors are helpful in calculating the PIC50 values. So as we are using random forest algorithm, so the subset of descriptors from previously, that is the previously built model result are as well as shown over here. And this is our prediction output. Like these are the PIC5 values. As I told you that if it is above 5, then it is not a good inhibitor. But if it is less than 5, then it's a good inhibitor, and that compound should be present for this particular disease to inhibit that disease. And along with that, the researchers or the pharmaceutical peoples, they also can download these predictions and use it further for their research work. So yeah, so this is our implementation and all. Yeah, we are done with our demonstration.
Srinivasan sir, would you mind commenting on it?
Yeah. Basically, I think this is a very sensitive topic and a very hot topic for now, being in shit or just being out of pandemic. But yeah, a very good attempt to go into an area which is basically majorly dominated by medicine experts and those people working in those lines. So coming to the presentation or the idea is an excellent idea, and I think whatever known definitely like viruses or diseases that are known can definitely be catered, and as clearly pointed out, like the drug testing is a phase where a lot of time goes in, and so instead of testing something which is definitely not going to work, so this will enable pharma companies or basically the authority which authorizes drugs in India or across the globe. So that way, like it would be a good idea to be funded. So overall, very good presentation, good attempt, and then I think if you could reach out to the correct people, definitely can take this idea much further. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Team Sigma. Now the next team up is upper roller, lower roller. Nice name. Okay. Can you please raise your hand for presenter rights? Yeah, done.
I hope I'm audible, right?
Yes, you are.
Okay. Hello, good evening, everyone present here. Our topic is indexing of illicit drug marketplace on the dark web, and our team consists of myself, Samprit Chaurasia, and my teammate Prathamesh Kavas. The problem statement we have taken is crawling of dark web to identify and catalog active and genuine darknet markets selling drugs. The deep web is an ideal platform for hosting criminal activity resulting in the dark web. Crypto markets are dark web-based online marketplaces primarily dedicated to the sale of illegal narcotics. This necessitates the development of automated systems to assist law enforcement and security agencies in gathering information from the dark web in order to expose such operations. We demonstrate the concepts required for the building of an indexer and a crawler that will collect data from active drug marketplace on the dark web. So, why is this needed? We know nowadays it's impossible to restrict usage of technology and internet by kids and teenagers. And obviously their curiosity is very high. And when this curiosity leads them into dark web, they might get induced will to try out stuffs if such drug marketplaces are easily available. To avoid such happenings and secure the future of young kids would be one of the major need of this project. Also to expose traffickers and their cartels, making investigation simple for responsible authorities. Further, my teammate Prathamesh will continue with the proposed system architecture and demonstration.
Okay, so for the proposed system of the proposed system for this problem will be a database containing all the active and high activity drug marketplaces along with the information like the products which they are offering on the marketplace plus the information of the highest means highly active seller and the highly active buyer. So depending on the information, the narcotics department can easily plan out their course of action to take down these marketplaces and the corresponding sellers and buyers. The main problem here is the staleness of the data. So to tackle that, we will be updating the database on daily basis using cron jobs. So the data won't be stale and only the active onion links will be in the database. Next, the curating of the active links. Now, as we all know, the dark web does not have a proper indexing system in place like the surface web. So getting the active onion links is quite a task. So for that, we are using three techniques. First is the snowball sampling, then the directories and the engines. In snowball sampling, we basically feed in a link to the program, and then it gets more links from that link, and then it gets more link from that links, all the other links. So when we get a certain satisfactory amount of links, we stop. Directories contains all the popular onion links, and engines are basically the search engines, but they are not that active, so they are not that much reliable. So next, all the curated links will be crawled to gather information on the product product offered to the customers. The architecture of the script, as I said, directories, snowball sampling, and search engines will be used to collect the onion links. Then these onion links will go through a filtering process where only the active and the relevant links will be used, will be kept for the crawling process. The keyword, it will be filtered based on the keywords and the activeness. Keywords like the drugs and all the types of related synonyms will be used. Then this filtered links will go to the crawler where the spider will crawl these websites and get the data on the products and the users active on the site, and then it will store in the database. The narcotics department can use this database to build products around it and to create a plan of action on which marketplace to take down first. I would like to show the demonstration. For the scripting, we have used for the scripting we have used Python. Let me just show you. Here, first of all, for crawling the darknet, we have to first connect to the Tor network. And we have a Python script. Here you can see it's first of all crawling the directory, which is the hidden wiki. Then it's searching the engines for the relevant links. It will take a bit time. Here these are the multiple search engines which are used to gather the active links. As you can see, the searching is done now. It is getting information on the curated links. So only the relevant links will be filtered. This will also take time. Till then, I would like to mention the differentiator of the project. First of all, the database which we will be creating won't be stale. It will be fresh because we will be running the script every midnight and only keeping the links which are active at the moment. Because on the dark web, the onion links are like active for 2 days and then they change the onion link to protect themselves. Then the second point is we will be sorting the marketplaces in the database based on the engagement of the users. Like the high intensity marketplaces will be showed up first to the narcotic department so that they can take the action first on that marketplaces and then on the low intensity marketplaces. And the third one is a future scope. We are planning on tracking the Bitcoin transactions so that we can fingerprint the sellers and the buyers and give this information to the narcotics department so they can take the appropriate actions. As you can see, these are all the links which are scraped from the dark web. If we go, the links data is in. So these links are only the drug marketplaces links, and not other relevant because we are doing the filtering process. So if we go on one of this link, it's an active marketplace. So the narcotics department can profile this marketplace and can perform the appropriate actions. So that's it for the demonstration. For the future scope, we are also considering a location-based segregation of the drug marketplaces. Like if the marketplaces is in India, then it will be showed different. And if it's in America, then it will be available in other category. So that's and the digital footprinting, as I said earlier. So that's it. Thank you.
Srinivasan sir.
Yeah, again, a very good idea. Like, as they say, how smart the police is, basically, the thief gets smarter. So, dark web is again untouched area, which would definitely need a lot of thought process. Some observations, one process which you said, like, you'll have to take this idea globally and work across markets. So, before doing that, you should be aware of, like, in which country, what particular kind of compound is legal and illegal. So, like, some compound would be legal in India and it would be considered illegal in some other country. Yeah, and vice versa. So, that would be one point. Second, you told, like, for tracking transactions in the marketplace, the drug marketplace, what you're doing is you will be tracking Bitcoin transactions. So idea would be like, not just crypto, definitely yes, but other than Bitcoin, even in other cryptocurrencies, if covered, would be wise actually before considering, because definitely one who is doing an illegal activity will try to hide and will not go with the most popular cryptocurrency. Other than yeah, so
Yes.
other, I think, yeah.
Yes, sir. By Bitcoin, we didn't mean the specific cryptocurrency. We meant all type of cryptocurrency and blockchain transactions.
Very good. So that I think you're already aware of that. So I think good. Other than that, yeah, to take up this idea, like if you want to basically commercialize on this idea, so the investigation agencies would be the correct customers for you, and you would be a great deal of boon. You can work with them to understand or just check, like, what are their pain points, and that way, like, propose your solution in a way wherein it would actually solve their problem, the current problem. So that way your idea would be appreciated and yeah, definitely funded. Yeah, thank you.
Sure, sir. Thank you.
A great presentation, guys. Now let's move on to the next team, which is Team Somaditya. Please raise your hands for presentation rights and turn on your cameras. Team Somaditya. Is anybody there from Team Somaditya? Okay, no. So we'll move on to the next team. Team LCC7.
Yeah. Hi. Yeah.
Yeah. Please raise your hand.
You'll need to make presenter to both.
Okay, cool. Yeah, done. You're all good to go.
Okay. So I hope you can hear me well here. So we'll start. So our project is lung capacity check, and it basically calculates the lung function, and lung function is nothing but the amount of air that you breathe in and breathe out in a normal human. So what lung function actually declines as we age, and air pollution and sedentary life choices like sitting at home idly and laying on the bed all day long causes the lung function to decrease in a healthy human being. And like if a person is having asthma or some chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, then in those people the lung function, the air pollution, and the sedentary life choices take a very huge toll. So for that, usually what is expected is as people age, they should go and take their lung test very frequently, like once every 4 months or once every 6 months, and that yeah, so these checkups that the people do of their lung, there are a lot of tests, and those tests come very costly, and it requires a very high-end machinery to do that. So what we are posing as a solution is we have made an equipment which you can use at the convenience of home, and you will get all the like capacities at your home. So moving on to the flow. Here, let me just present so you can see it better. Yeah, so as you can see, here we will have a mobile application which the user or the patient will be using, and the setup. So the user will enter the data such as age, sex, weight, height, name, etc. And he will be breathing in through and then he will be going to the next stage. He will submit it, and then he'll go to the next stage where we will calculate some of the volumes, such as in the second box, as you can see, we will be calculating tidal volume. In the third, we will be calculating inspiratory capacity. In the fourth, expiratory capacity, and finally the total lung capacity. So all these volumes play a very major role, and based on this, we will be calculating many more based on this, many more formulas will be derived, and in between each of them, we are giving 1 minute rest so that the person can so that the lungs of that person is well rested, and we get a good result. So that's the proposed solution. Now let's just start with the demonstration, right? So I hope you can see me, and this is our setup, and this is the mouthpiece. So I'll be wearing it, and let me just present my phone so you can see the app. Yeah, so as you can see the app, first I'll be typing the name, then the age, then I'll be doing this. So now in tidal volume, what I have to do is I'll be having to just breathe in normally and breathe out in the mouthpiece normally. That is no extra pressure, no deeply, nothing. So I'll be doing that. So as you can see there, sometimes what happens is I am not able to click the start and stop simultaneously. That is, when I stop breathing, I should be able to stop. So at that time, we are allowing the user to take the test again. But since I did it right here, I'll be continuing to the next. So as you can see here, we will be having a timeout for 1 minute for between each and every test. So the user's lungs is well rested. Here, if the user feels that his lungs is well rested, he can proceed before the time is out. And if the user feels that his lungs is not well rested, even after 1 minute, he can wait for a few more time and then he can proceed. So that's the reason for the proceed button. So let's now get to the next one. In the inspiratory capacity, what we have to do is we will be breathing out normally, but we will be breathing in from the mouthpiece as much as we can. So let me just show you. So as you can see, I breathed out normally through my nose or through mouth, anywhere, and I breathed in as much as I could deeply from the mouthpiece. So I'll just wait for a few seconds because I don't feel that my lungs is well rested now. Yeah, so now going to the next page, this is the EC. Yeah, So in EC, we'll do exactly the opposite of IC. This takes some time usually because of the lungs. So I'll just proceed now, just because we need to finish the demo in time. Here I'll be inhaling as much as I can, and I'll be exhaling in the mouthpiece as much as I can. Continue to report. So as you can see here, we have generated a report type format in which we have also given the expected range that that the volume should be present in. So as you can see, in TV is present in the expected range, and we have given the name, age, and weight details. The IC was below the expected range value because I actually inhaled for quite less time. I could have inhaled more. So these things we need to keep in mind while we are doing it, and that's why we had generated an alert box, which gives us the detail that we can take it again. We can take the test again. So like that, and finally the TLC is also coming less because of the IC. So this is our main project, and it is calculating the total lung capacity, and it also gives us the expected range, and based on which it is showing us the value of the total lung capacity that is present in our air, present in our lungs. And also one major thing that we need to keep in mind here is that most of the results that we are getting here, even though there were some errors, some human errors, the values are not going very large afar from the expected range. So that is something important to keep in mind. And also I'd just like to point out one small thing, that we had also taken some data from our peers, and that data is present here. And as you can see, many of those data is coming well inside the expected range. So we can see that our model or the application that we have created is functioning well. That's it from us. That's it.
Yes, sir. Srinivasan, sir, any comments?
Yeah. Basically, I think again, this is very healthcare related topic, and very much related to health, to human body, and very noble idea, because as clearly indicated, wherein whenever you start a presentation, you need to talk about the problem statement. So problem statement was very well explained here, saying that the cost of the machinery and cost of these kind of testing is very costly, and the solution is clearly trying to solve the same exact problem, which is basically a key pointer, or can say key area. So to commercialize this idea, basically, again, as initially discussed, organizations which are working in these areas would be your clear customer, and definitely a mix of both rural and urban India always be, because there in rural areas you don't have much good facilities, and even in urban areas the cost is high. So this exact solution will definitely try to cater to both. To improve upon this area, would like you to do a good research and try to take up this idea further. But yeah, this idea definitely has got a lot of. Yeah.
Thank you.
Overall, very good presentation. Keep checking. I think that way it will be helpful. Thank you. That's it from us.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So guys, that's it. Our PPT presentation has been officially over. So yeah, I'm sure all the participants must have learned a lot. You guys were great, and I thank the judges for their patience and their insightful reviews, guiding the participants in the right direction. Thank you for your patience. And also, I would like to extend our thanks to our sponsors for today's event. Our our platform partner, DevFolio, VoiceFlow, Interview Buddy, Echo 3D, O'Reilly, Cello, Polygon, Tezos, Filecoin, JetBrains, Hover Robotics, and Mentorex. Now, after this, we will be taking a short break. Those who want to go, and you guys can leave and come back to, yeah. We will be continuing our session within 15 minutes. Take.